The outlook for the next year is that we want to start seeing a better growth percentage on the back of actually the economic reform that we are taking place. Basically, what we expect next year is to see growth percentage between 4.6 to 4.8%. More importantly, is that we're starting to take the budget deficit on a downward trend. That's very important. It's a very important message for the international community, the international investor, all the financial institutions, that we are starting to take this on a downward trend. So we're planning next year to have budget deficit, overall budget deficit in the range of 9.1 to 9.2%. Also on the primary deficit, we're planning to turn it around into a primary surplus, even at a small percentage, 0.2 or 0.3% for the next year. That's very important in terms of the financial stability and sustainability of the Egyptian economy in the coming period of time. And to start to see more of good growth percentage, and more importantly, on the longer term and the medium term, to see it on a more sustainable level with growth rates that would be ranging from 5.5 to 6.5% in the coming 5 or 6 years, something like that. For a number of years, we've stayed the course, not really reflecting the true value of the Egyptian pound versus the US dollar and other currencies, and that resulted in really expanding our trade deficit as well as our balance of payment deficit in a rather very harming way. And we also had this kind of notion that the more we fix the currency against the US dollar, that means that the economy is strong. That stayed with us for more than 20 years and have really hampered our ability to attract more investment, to be more competitive in the global arena in terms of our export ability as well. You can imagine a country like Egypt, export level at $18 billion in comparison to countries like Vietnam, Turkey, South Africa, Malaysia, Indonesia, and other countries. Even Morocco has an export level of $36 billion, and we have 18. So that really hampered our ability to be a global player in the economy for a country of the size of Egypt. That was very important. The economic reform will take good care of part of this issue, but also more targeted, more directed programs are taking place. If the central bank have issued like an initiative to provide financing for small and medium enterprises at a highly discounted interest rate, also integrating the small and medium enterprise into the formal system is going to take place, providing clusters, industrial clusters. The social protection programs have more than quadrupled in this period of time, and even more than that. From social solidarity, kind of pension, dignity and solidarity, another program of pension, supporting pension payments, increasing wages to people, food security as well, and food subsidy program is taking place. But the more important factor is to make the subsidy program that we are offering to people more efficient, because we've seen in certain areas like energy subsidy over years, it wasn't efficient. It was targeted to everybody in an absolute way, and the less able people do not make use out of that. It's only the more able people that takes benefit of that for no good reason. So this has created a lot of distortion when it comes to how you direct and you target the subsidy to people in the most efficient way. We have roles to play, and they have role to play as well. We have to make it easier for the U.S. company to come to Egypt in terms of procedures, in terms of bureaucracy, in terms of acting quickly on their requirements, support on the production factor in terms of them coming to Egypt, facilitate a lot of things. Also on bilateral trade agreement, we can benefit each other as two countries. We can benefit each other a great deal to support that as well. Certain programs that are in place to continue to be applied as well, and to maybe we can expand it further. And I believe the United States will support Egypt a great deal, and Egypt will be ready to receive U.S. investment and U.S. companies coming to Egypt to support Egypt growth. And at the same time, they will find great opportunities to achieve profitability in the Egyptian economy, because the upside potential is great. Egyptian economy is highly diversified. The location is perfect. It has an access to many markets, Europe, Africa, Middle East as well. So it is a genius location and a very highly diversified economy, and a big economy, big country like Egypt can benefit the United States, and vice versa as well.